Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to The Brave Never Fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the Brave and Bold tribe, growing one purposeful soul at a time. There are no coincidences in life. The strength you have is real. Each breath you take is a blessing. Don't give up, give more. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? We can succeed alone or all together, free yet connected. The Brave Never Fall was founded on the concept of being free to do what you can do every single day for yourself, with or without the aid of other people, and finding strength in that, finding purpose in that, finding peace in that. It doesn't mean you cannot do it with someone else as well. If you are on a journey alone, that means someone else is on a journey alone as well. There has to be similarities there. There has to be things that are in common. There are things that are in common. There are things that maybe you align with, maybe you don't align with. But by chance, life brings you together with someone else and you're connected, whether you want to be or not. That's when we have to make the best of that situation. That's when we have to ask ourselves, are these lives like ours? These people we meet, are they like us? These moments we have with these people, what is the value? And I view value in moments like people view value in pennies. You can find a penny anywhere. They seem valueless until you start to stockpile them and you add them up and you realize they actually have a lot of value. So you meet one person, may not seem like that one person may have value, but that person with the combination of this person, the combination of that person, suddenly, just like those pennies, these things add up to extreme value for yourself, and you become valuable to them because you are one of those pennies as well. Each moment, each person, they're connected to us, but we are free to step back and observe and understand why we are connected to these people, and are they a benefit to our life, or should we be looking to jettison these people or flush them out and understand their true purpose? Do they understand their purpose? Because if they understand their purpose, they'll understand your purpose. Unity, a state of being united or joined as a whole, to be together or at one with someone or something, the complete opposite of being divided. Togetherness, oneness. Alone or with a teammate, at some point there will come a moment on your journey where you will be forced to stop, face your fears, and stand your ground. Chaos, challenges, struggle, failure, mistrust, financial disorder, family distress, all pose significant threats to our peace and purpose as we move forward each day. You cannot have encouragement without the word courage. We will never be alone when it comes to facing fears. Everyone must face them. It is part of the balance of life and the way we find out more about ourselves. Through enduring hardships, we change and grow. Surrounding ourselves with like-minded travelers gives us additional strength when it comes to facing our fears and standing our ground to protect the peace and purpose we deserve. Strength in numbers. No one wants to be the weakest link. So that strength in numbers is increased, boosting individual confidence within ourselves as well as the unity. Trust builds, bravery and boldness grows, and together the unit fully knows they can face anything or anyone, together or individually, when called upon to do so. The unit holds each other accountable, owns up to their shortfalls and misgivings, admit when they are wrong, and do whatever it takes to reinforce their strength, to become a stronger link in the chain. In unity, there are no excuses, negativity, or narcissism, or the unity fails. There must be balance, empathy, communication, and genuine respect and love for those we are united with. Because these are the people we have to have our backs, that will aid us on our journey of peace and purpose. Cincinnatus, Episode 10, Unity. Unity isn't always about having people alongside you on the journey. The people that are aligned with you in your life where you say, I can't imagine my life without this person. Doesn't mean you have a codependent relationship with this person. It just means there's something about this person that makes your peace and your purpose and everything that you do in life and everything you want to do in life and things that you have done in life, they have a very integral part to play in that. They have played it, they are playing it, and most likely they will continue playing a part in your life. But what we don't think about often, I should say, I think we all think about this a lot. I think we all think about who's in our lives and why they're in our lives and should they be in our lives or why aren't they in our lives. I think we think about these things a lot, but I don't think we think about what these people are doing on an individual basis for themselves and how they view us in the terms and the ways that we're thinking of them. If you think about other people, are they thinking of us the same way we are thinking of them? And if so, what are they thinking? If we have people who are important in our lives that are free to do what they want, yet they are attached to us, they're connected with us in a positive way, why is that? And if you think of it in terms of links and chains, that person is linked to other people, regardless if we want them to be or not. For example, even the closest people to us have their own set of friends that we may not have, even though we're extremely close to them. We may be best friends with this person. We may be in a relationship with this person, maybe in a business relationship with this person, a partnership. But they have their own separate things that they do, which brings other people in their lives that you may have never interacted with, aren't interacting with, or never will interact with. These people have separate lives that they live within the construct of their connection with you. These people that they're with are influencing them in a positive way or maybe a negative way. And this is what makes relationships so dynamic. But when you think about having friendships and partnerships and being in relationships, we want these relationships, we want these connections to be as powerful as what we want for ourselves individually, which is why free and connected with the Brave Never Fall is so important. Because yes, you can be strong by yourself, but how is your strength heightened or in some cases diminished when you're with other people, not because of that person, but because of the people that person deals with, and so on and so on. We can go on and on and on down the line with, if you look at the link of the chain could go on for forever, so to speak. Each person influencing the next, each person having some bit of real estate in someone's journey, in someone's path, in someone's purpose, in someone's peace, someone's distress, someone's chaos. And this might be, they always say the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, with the game you play where you figure out, you name a person and you figure out through the game how to link these actors to a movie with Kevin Bacon. It's the same thing with these links with our friends and our families and our coworkers. We may look at someone and say, this person is great for me. We work really well together. We get along together. We're aligned. But if there was to bring someone in the room that say, hey, listen, this is a person that knows this person, knows this person, that knows this person. They all know me, but I'm linked to this person. It would make you look at the person you were aligned with a little differently, because you would say, how are you linked with this person? For better or for worse. It may be better, it may be worse, but this person's connected to this person. When you think of it in these terms, you have to bring it back to yourself and say, okay, I'm the exact same way. There are people linked with me that this person may say, I don't align with that, or I do align with that. With unity, I know that it's extremely important to know who you're dealing with at all times and why. You may not have the right to ask someone the extent of what their purpose is in life, but usually we're very good, intelligent creatures, us human beings. We know, we can feel deep down inside, we know through intuition and trust, especially if you've gained that for yourself, you know when someone is on a path that you wouldn't mind going along with, or if they're going in a completely different direction and you say, no, that's not for me. We can instinctively feel this. But we are strengthened by the people that are closest to us. They are strengthened by the people who are closest to them, and so on and so on. It is essentially a unity without even knowing all the people involved. You are strengthened by people you don't even know in a certain case. Because the people who enlighten you and strengthen you every single day, who's enlightening and strengthening them? And who's strengthening and enlightening these people? We're all gaining strength for people that we don't even know. And that is a beautiful unity when you think about it, because it's strength in numbers. And if you have the right people around you, the probability that the people who are closer to you are getting strength and getting enlightenment from people who actually make a difference positively in their lives, you benefit from that. And if that link and that chain can keep going further and further and further, and more people are aligned or alike, differences here and there, of course. Everybody has their ups and downs. No one's perfect. But if we can get that link in the chain through this person on this person, this person knows this person, without even all these people knowing each other, but each person having enough strength and confidence and have worked on themselves in a positive way and are moving in the right direction enough, you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people on either side for you and the other person. Look at the network you have without even knowing the people in the network. This goes back to even old military terms and times, I should say, where you are trusted by your commanders and your superior officers and the people alongside you to not be the weak link in the chain, to be able to step up to the plate, to answer the call and fight for people you don't even know back in your country, in the hometown that you're in, and across the country, across the world, in the world wars. And you're fighting alongside people that you don't know. You don't know every person in the battalion on a personal basis, yet you all are fighting for the same cause. You all are fighting for the same thing. And this is what I'm talking about in a very general sense for our everyday lives. When I always say answer the call, that is answering the call to people you don't even know. That it also means answering the call for people who are relying on you that you don't even know. The butterfly effect. Every single thing you do has a consequence. Something is going to happen from every action you take. Every word you speak to someone, whether they understand what you're saying or not. You could walk up to someone who doesn't even speak the same language as you, and they can get the vibe that you're either hostile or you're peaceful. We affect everything around us, which is why I believe surrounding yourself with people and not only having a teammate. We talked about this. A teammate is someone that you can rely on, and it's usually a smaller number. This is a person, just one-on-one. This, or maybe a small group of people where you can say, I know, we are all working on this together. We know each other. I can pick this person's brain. I can ask this person this. I can learn directly from this person. I have resources from this person. With the unity, that's different in the sense that I'm talking about here. With the unity, it's again like those military terms. You are alongside people in small groups, large groups, extremely large groups, a network, and you may or may not know a significant percentage of people in that group, yet they are essential to your growth and your health and your safety. What role do we play in that network? It's very interesting to think about. What do we contribute to society? What do we contribute to our families? What do we contribute to our relationships? Are we doing all that we can? Or is there more to give? Are we pushing the boundary? Or are we just leaving stuff on the table every day? And again, as always, all these questions have answers, and all these answers lead back to one person. It's always going to be us as an individual. We have to just do our part. We can't worry about the unity to the point of, I don't want to let everyone down, because it's impossible to please everyone, and nor should we be trying to please everyone. We should be trying to be the best versions of ourselves for the people who are closest to us. Again, our family members, our relationships, our, at our jobs. If you're involved in church, if you're involved in extracurricular activities, if you're an athlete, all of these things where you're required to interact with other people. That's where the teammate thing comes in. That's when we can really, really hone in on our skills and say, where are my deficiencies and who do I have on my team that can help? But those people have the same thing going on in their lives, and it may not be you who they're talking about. They may say, okay, who's on my team? Now, me and you may be on this person's team, but they may be looking at other people who are much more significant as far as roles go in their lives. That doesn't make us a weak link. It just makes us part of the chain. Some chains are thicker and stronger in spots than other ones. Chains do wear down. Chains can be broken. And that's when it's important. When the chains do break, what do we do to fix it? Who's going to replace the weak link? Walking alone is perfectly fine. I talked about this all the way back in Color Wave Orange with Arona's Way of Balanced Energy, where it's perfectly fine to walk your journey alone. You will meet people along the way, but for the most part, you're doing it on your own. You're learning from who you need to learn from, when you need to learn it, and you're moving on. You're not staying stuck. But there are times where we have to stand, even a Ronin would have to stop and say, okay, I need to help this village. I need to help these people. Why? Because that is part of his purpose, her purpose, and the overall purpose of a group, where you may be the missing part that just brings everything together. We see this a lot in family dynamics and work dynamics, where the business is failing. They bring in somebody who is qualified, positive, knows their stuff, ready to work, and knows how to get outcomes, and won't stop until the outcomes are positive. That is a group, a unified group, benefiting from somebody coming in and replacing that broken link in the chain. We see it all the time in church. We see it in schooling. We see it in our families. There could be someone, a family member, a mother or a father, disgruntled. A divorce happens and somebody else comes in and they fill that void and make the family better. These are things we see every single day. We do it in elections here in America. Every 4 years, every one side, the left or the right, may say it's broken. Somebody else is supposed to come in to fix everything. Then it gets broken again. These are things that happens all the time. The overall collective benefits from the fact that somebody is competent enough to walk in with enough bravery and boldness to say, I believe I can fix this. Trust me. And all of you, even the people I don't know, even the people I will never even speak to, are going to benefit from my presence. Now, once that happens, what do we have? We have positive examples of where we can go from that point forward to ensure success. We no longer have the excuse to say, I can't get something done. No, maybe you couldn't get it done alone. And no one says you need help for the rest of your life, but there's nothing wrong with asking for help at a crucial moment in time in your life. Everybody needs guidance. Everybody needs a support group. It could be a teammate, it can be a group of teammates, or it could be a unified group, a unity of people, a network of people you may or may not know. They're all coming together to understand one important thing. We all benefit from working together. Our odds of success go up significantly if we all stand our ground together. And this can work in a family dynamic, again, in a church. It can work in business. It can work in a workplace. It can work anywhere. But everybody has to be held accountable for their actions. That's the only way it works. A network cannot sustain its strength and power if the servers are weak, if the software is outdated. Everything has to be continuously be worked on. Each individual person, each individual part has to be accounted for. And it cannot be said, hey, this is something that we can work on, but it can wait. A lot of times, most of the time, when something is a problem, it needs to be a focal point on progression towards being fixed, quote unquote, trying to shore up that that weak link, trying to fix that broken space that we know if we just get on it immediately, the chain can be strong again. Or we're going to sit there and let the chain just rust away underneath the weather. and hope somehow through some type of a miracle, the chain is going to miraculously just connect itself again and be as strong as ever. No, that's not how it works. And there's too many people on the chain, so to speak. So if we take it to people, if you take links in a chain, if you apply that to people, and these people are standing around watching everybody else fail, and they know, hey, I could step up and fix this. Got to take action. You have to recognize what your tools are, what skills you have, what value you have, what's your purpose, what do you have to offer? Goes back to this. What do you have to contribute? This is where leaders are born. This is when leaders are born, is when there is a time for them to say, I have learned enough. I haven't learned everything, but I have learned enough to know that I can step up in this moment and take charge and get positive outcomes that are going to benefit the unity, the group of people. And I'm going to start with my teammates. You can start small. That's why I believe in having your teammates. And teammates, again, if you go and check out that podcast, the Cincinnatus podcast of teammates, if you want to know what I mean by this, start small. You don't have to have 150 people on your team. You don't have to be a football team. You can just be a basketball team. You don't need that many people. Just start small, like-minded people, and then you expand. Because how we get to the unity, remember, the people on our team know people we don't know. And those people know people that they don't know. And that's how it expands. And if we have positive people, that positive bubble will keep expanding and expanding. And again, we can come back to this again and again because we know it works at this point. We know I have a core team that works for me. And they trust me because I'm putting in my work. We are holding each other accountable, all of us. No one is getting out of this without being vetted by each and every one of us for doing what we know we should be doing. We can't just speak about it. We can't keep putting it off. We can't keep procrastinating. To answer the call means no procrastination. It means get it done. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean it has to be done all at once. It just means do something. Do something. But we have to have our priorities in line as well. Doing something doesn't mean doing useless things that can wait. Urgent priority. Something I do all the time to myself mentally when I'm working, when I'm on a project to get throughout the day. I always say, what is my next task? And then I have in my mind a quadrant. And it just basically says, hey, what is the most urgent priority next that I need to get done today? And the one that pops in mind that is the most urgent and it feels like a priority, that is what goes in next. That's what I do next. That's what I try to at least work on, even if I have a short amount of time. It's priority urgent. And then when that's done, I say, okay, what's the next priority urgent? Because it never ends. There's always a next priority urgent. Now, what makes a good team and a good unity is other people thinking that way. They're constantly working on things that are urgent and are priorities. That doesn't mean you don't get your downtime. That just means when I know I am at my best when it comes to efficiency, when I know I have the time, when I know I'm going to complain about it later, when I know I look back and say, I knew I had time to do that and I chose not to. Those are the times you have to step up and say, okay, priority urgent. What can I get done here? Even if I have 5 minutes, even if this project is going to take 5 months, what can I do to help this project by doing something for only 5 minutes? And again, like those pennies I was talking about, those moments, those little bit of blocks of time add up. And they add up faster than you believe. They add up so fast and so quick that it almost changes your state of mind. And guess what it leads to? It leads to discipline. Because the things I used to say, this is priority urgent, I don't say that anymore. Now they're just a part of my day. Because the things you have to say every single day that are priority urgent, those are probably things you need to be super disciplined about. Those are things that are a part of your life that you gravitate towards, and instead of reminding yourself to do it, you find yourself saying, I want to do these things. They're not so much priority urgent. They're just essential for my positivity. Not everything we do in each day is fun. But again, this is going back to our unity. Where we are soft and weak, someone else is strong and hard. Where we drop the ball, somebody else can pick it up and run with it. This is what makes not only just a team, because again, your small team is one thing. But when we know we're protected by more than who we are. And again, we may not even know who these people are. But we just know that these people are connected to the people who are closest to us, which is our team. And through that, we have resources. This is how we find out, hey, you need a plumber? Yo, I know a guy. This is what I'm talking about here. Finding a network. Finding a bunch of people that can help. Positive people, proven people, people who are willing to do the right thing. And not everyone is experienced. So the people who are willing to learn, they are welcome aboard too. Strength in numbers, but with the right-minded people. Doesn't do you any good to have someone on your team who is a narcissist or someone who is going to, at every turn, complain and put things off and offer up excuses and not hold themselves accountable and have no ownership over their actions or their words. People who don't trust themselves, so let alone them actually bringing trust to the table even for themselves, we can't trust them. And when you can't trust someone, you make them untrustworthy. Complicated things. Starts with us, though. We can recognize these things. Things become easier as far as recognition with teammates and units that we are a part of when we know what we can bring to the table. Because then we don't have to worry so much about what everyone else is doing. We all know when something is not going right when we see it, when we hear it. Intuition, trust. We know when we know. But one thing that we can't do, we can't forget that we have to keep working on ourselves. Again, the link is broken, and we will be that weak link. Progression as far as our mind, body, heart, and soul never stops. Self-love never stops. You have to keep working on it. Again, those moments. Not every penny is shiny. Just like every moment is not beautiful. It's not a positive moment. That doesn't mean the moments need to be thrown away. A dull penny can be shined, can be cleaned up, can be restored. So can our moments, so to speak. A bad moment here can be replaced with a good moment there. A bad friend here can be replaced with a good friend there. A bad relationship here can be replaced with a good relationship there. We can go on and on with this. It just means you don't accept the unacceptable as far as your boundaries go. We don't accept people who don't hold themselves accountable but want to hold us accountable. We don't accept bad relationships just for the sake of being in a relationship. We can't ask and ask and ask and expect to take and take and take without giving anything in return. Value for everything in life. If we look around ourselves and say everything is crumbling around us, including our friendships and our relationships and all the things that we know that we are to be or we're supposed to be, and those things are crumbling around us, we have to take a look at ourselves first and then start working our way out. Because it starts with us. The common denominator in every bad experience is always going to be us. What part did we play? Were we innocent bystanders? We're going to play victim here? Or we're going to say there was things I could have done to not be in that situation in the first place. And even if I couldn't do anything about it, what did I learn from this? How can I turn this negative experience into a positive? Power goes to you every time when you can step back, do your after action report. Again, that's just your analysis after you've had some moment where you detached and you were able to sit back and say, what happened here? Wasn't the greatest moment for myself. I said some things, I did some things. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to own my responsibilities and my boundaries and me breaking them, and my morals and me breaking them, and all the values that I have, I broke them. What can I do? That's the after action report. Or I did everything correct. How can I replicate that, and how can I strengthen that? I stood firmly on my values. I did this positively. I said this positively. I'm working on my purpose. How can I strengthen these things? The ability to detach, hold yourself accountable, own up to who you are, You will never be a weak link in a chain when those types of things are disciplined every single day. We all know what it feels like to feel good. We all know our best days when we say, this was a great day. I felt great. I got everything accomplished. Why don't we do the things we did that day and replicate it every single day? Build upon it. Build until it becomes discipline, until you look back and you say, wow, that one thing I was so excited about, I do it every single day now. That's company most people want to have in their unit. To be teammates with, to be in relationships with. People who hold themselves accountable and they are continuing to build in a positive direction. They can see other people and say, I can grow from this person. I can learn from this person. I don't know too much to ask a question from this person. Or this person is toxic. This person is narcissistic. This person is not something I want in my life. And I'm choosing to jettison them. These are all decisions we make as adults. These are all decisions that we will continue to have to make as adults. But more importantly, these are all decisions that if you are on the right path and you know what your purpose is, they really aren't as difficult as it seems to just say, I'm going to stay in my lane and do what I have to do. And I'm going to trust that me doing that is going to bring me the right people, places, and things in my life. And as somebody who was lost as lost could be when I was younger, for someone who had every excuse in the book to not get things accomplished, someone who procrastinated on everything, someone who was horrible with communication and horrible in relationships, someone who was in a deep state of depression, someone who lost his father before he was the age of 15, someone who had no confidence at all, someone who had no purpose at all. I can tell you, as one of the most undisciplined people I've ever met in my life, which was me, all the things I'm saying in this podcast not only apply to me, but apply to the people who went in the opposite direction of me, and they are no longer positive. They are in the negative. To see people who I was a part of, my old teammates, my old unity, my old network of people, I can count on one hand how many of those people I would actually even want to be in the same room with, because of a lack of accountability, ownership, boundaries, values, morals, principles. There's no peace, all drama. And that's not what I need for my life. For other people, that may work for them. Everybody leads their life different. I know a lot of positive people who need a little bit of drama in their life to enlighten them. And if that's their blueprint, that's their blueprint of life. I will not be the person who tells someone what their blueprint is, but I sure as hell will help you figure out what it could be. Because I've been there, I've been in the darkness, and I've been enlightened. And to turn on the lights, you need enlightenment. You can't have enlightenment without the word light. You have to wake up. And that's what I told myself. You have to wake up. It is time to put your best foot forward. It is time to stop being afraid. It is time to face your fears, change your life, and do what must be done to get the things you want so bad in life. Because if you want certain things in life, they're only going to come when you align yourself with them. You can't guide yourself to an island by navigating with the stars if you're looking in the wrong direction of the stars you're trying to navigate to the island with. You're trying to get to Paradise Island, and you're going to end up on fucking Skull Island. You're going to get to Skull Island when you were looking for Paradise Island. You're looking for Utopia, and you're going to find King Kong. And Godzilla might bite you in the ass on the way there. If you don't know where you're navigating to, if you don't know the tools. And that's the key. That's the key. We have to know who we are. We have to know what we bring to the table. And it starts with us taking accountability and ownership of who we are. Pledge with me. I am the strongest person I know. I am alive for a reason. I pledge to stand on my values. I pledge to set and reinforce healthy boundaries. I pledge to keep pushing forward. I am not a victim. I am not without purpose. I pledge to continue to create the life I want. I pledge to grow beyond my current self. I pledge to commit to myself unconditionally, because I am the strongest person I know. I will always be the strongest person I know. I pledge to continue to create, and if need be, recreate the blueprint of my life. I pledge to accept and face any challenge and obstacle that comes my way, because I am the strongest person I know. I pledge I will remain who I am, here and now, and going forward, because I am the strongest person I know. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There's still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you can do whatever it takes to accomplish whatever you want from life. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You are true to yourself always. Knowledge is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Balance is in your body. Purpose is in your soul. You are greatness. The sky is not the limit. You have purpose, fulfilling, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are unique. You are self-love, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control. You have self-awareness. You are joy, peace, and happiness. You are freedom, and yet connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.